everybody, it's Wendy, and today I am here with Jesse James Beads, and we are going to practice putting a ring on it. So we did putting a ring on it last week, and I like it so much that we're doing it again this week. So yeah, we got all kinds of rings here. First of all, our encouraging word for today is always do your best. That is wise advice to live by. Okay, so put a ring on it. I love rings. I love metals. Oh, it's so much fun. So we're going to have a good time this week with this one. It's so easy though. So these 7 beads right here came from the Magical Mystery Bead Box for July. So if you got that, you can use any Jesse James beads that you have. You know, these are kind of like a hexagon shape. These are a square, but this is going to be fun. This is all Jesse James stuff though, okay? This came out of another kit that they had a while back. It's just a really cool bead frame. You can use any bead frame that you have. These have holes drilled. You can see right there. And so that's going to be cool. These are some Jesse James bead frames that came from a mix. And like I said, any bead frames or any ring. It doesn't have to be a bead frame because we're using some regular rings too in this. And we're using some chain. This is just pieces of chain that I have cut up for other projects. So I'm pulling it out. We're going to use it here today. I have some eye pins. I have a hook and eye closure. And I have some copper colored jump rings in a couple different sizes. And I think that's everything that you're going to need. This is a very simple little project that we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is all of our little sections here that we're going to put a ring on. We're going to go ahead and put the ring on. So we've got these little beads. I love these guys. I think they're so cute. They're drilled this way. And we are just going to use an eye pin, and we're going to put that ring right around this guy. So you just take your eye pin, put it through, just like that. Now, most of these bead frames don't come apart like this. This is just an interesting one that they've done. So you just want to get it together. You could glue it if you wanted, like if you felt like it wasn't going to stay. But I think once we get the eye pin together and everything, I think it's going to be okay. We will see. We could always glue it if we needed to, but I think it's really kind of cool. And I like that it's wooden. That's just pretty cool too. Okay, so I am going in very tight. Okay, you want to go in tight. You don't want to leave a lot of room because you really don't want this spinning around a lot. See, I've got too much room really right there. And so I'm hoping that when I close this up, that it will be tight enough. And if not, I'll roll it a little bit. I'll show you what I mean by that. Alright, so here I'm just going to cut this off. Cutting it off fairly small, make it a little smaller because, like I said, I want it to be tight. There we go. And then we're just going to take our pliers here, round nose pliers, and roll it back. I'm going to roll it all the way, and if there's extra room, I'm just going to roll it under until it is tight. And this isn't spinning around, okay? Just like that. Now, what I've done is I've undone my other side. I tell you what we're going to do with this. Because this thing is really trying to be difficult. We're going to wire wrap it. That way we won't have this issue. So let me get this out of here. Get yourself a piece of 20 gauge wire would be good. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some 20 gauge, probably gold wire. Okay, this is going to be much better. So I've got some 20 gauge wire here. Just, I don't know what, I cut like 3-4 inches here. And I probably have cut too much, but I just want to make sure that I have enough. I'm bad about that. Okay, and what we're going to do is wrap loops on either end. So we're going to bend this 90 degrees. Like that. We're going to grab here, come up and over, rotate our pliers up and come under. And there we have our little loop. And then we're just going to wrap, and with it being kind of thicker wire, let me grab my other pliers. We're going to wrap, I'm going to grab my pliers to do it with. And I'm trying to keep this a fairly neat wrap. You can do it messy if you want, but I'm just kind of doing a neat wrap right there. Not too neat, it's a little messy, but I like it. I like it messy some days, and some days I don't. So today I'm kind of an in-between kind of mood. Just going to trim that off. And we want to tuck that to make sure that it doesn't snag on anything. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take it and stick it through here, and we're going to have a lot more strength here to work with, so than the little eye pin. He was kind of flimsy, but we'll only need this on this one piece, and it's only because it needs to be tight enough to hold it like this. I want it to be anyway. And I like that the bead can kind of float around in there. I think that's cool. So just make sure your wire's straight. We are going to do the same thing. Whoop, not with our cutters. That would be very bad. We're going to bend 90 degrees here around those pliers. I'm just coming up at our oh my goodness, with our flat nose pliers. Goodness, I'm losing it. Okay, I'm just going to bend. I'm coming up just a little bit. We don't want to come up too far here because you want it to be tight, but you still want to have room to wrap. So think about that when you're doing that. And then I'm just going to come up and over, rotate my plier up, and come around. Now it's going to flop all around right now, okay? It's all right. Just get it back where it needs to go. And then you're going to grab this, and with our other plier, we're going to wrap down towards that loop. Or wrap down towards the bead frame. Okay? And as we get down close to it, it's going to tighten up. There we go. See? Pretty good. And I'm going to wrap it around one more time just to be doubly sure that it is tight. And I, again, am going down, trying to go down towards the bead frame. So just getting it really tight there. There we go. That's perfect. It's not going to go anywhere now. All right, trim this off. And then tuck it. So you saw what it does if you try to do this with a head pin or an eye pin, which you probably could do if you had a stronger eye pin. That was a thinner eye pin. So, you know, if you have a stronger one, it'd probably be a little bit better, but I'm just going to use the wire because it works great too. So you can use either one. So there's our little framed piece. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use these guys next to it, and we're going to hook with these. We're just mixing metals. It's so fun to mix metals. I love to. And that's what we're going to do. So we've got our beads here. So these bigger beads, actually, I'm going to put in between here, I think. I'm kind of designing as I go with this one. These little guys, I want to go in here, in these frames. Okay, where'd my other one go? There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to take my ring, my eye pins now, and these should be just fine. And see, that can float in there. I like the movement. If you don't want the movement, if you don't want them to spin, you could put little clear seed beads in there or something like that, but I like that. I think it's pretty cool. And we're just going to bend 90 degrees and just make a regular loop here. I'm not going to do a wrapped loop because there's not a wrapped loop on the other end. Just going to make a regular little loop here. Okay, so just like that. Okay, and see, it'll spin around in there, it'll move. I like that. But if you don't like it, you could pin him in with some seed beads. Some clear seed beads, or even some metal, like some little 3mm metal beads. 2mm metal beads, something like that. Would be cute. Get creative with it. Have fun. That's the thing with jewelry making. If you get upset, you know, like that piece didn't work for me, that focal. If you let that upset you and cause you anxiety, then it takes the fun out of your jewelry making. So just really enjoy yourself. It doesn't matter. You can always do it a different way. Take it apart. You know, it's very, very forgiving. And it's supposed to be a fun thing. So let's put this guy in here. Okay. Same thing. And I save all my little pieces of... Oh, wait a minute. what happened there? We pulled him through. I guess that wasn't closed up. I save all my little pieces of wire because you can make little head pins and eye pins and stuff with them later, just little scraps. Or you can do other things with them, links. But I save all these little pieces, so just a little idea there. You can use them later. If the zombie apocalypse hits, we may not be able to get eye pins, so you may be thankful for all those little saved pieces, right? I loved the show, The Walking Dead. Loved it. Like the first, I don't know, the first 3 seasons were really good, and then it just got, eh. I quit watching it then, but the first 3 seasons or so I really loved, and I told Chris, because he couldn't watch it, it was too gory for him. And I was like, yeah, well, when the zombie apocalypse hits, I'm going to survive, and you're going to be like the first one to get eaten. I don't think he appreciated that much. Alright, so here we have this. Now, this guy's going to go in the middle here and in the middle here. So, they need to go, this guy needs to go on his own eye pin. We've put rings on it, on all these others, so he's not going to get a ring. He's going to be a plain little bead because, you know, we got to have some variety here. So, I'm just putting him on an eye pin and making him into a link. Just like we did with everybody else here. Okay, and where's my other one? Here he is. Same thing with him. Okay. There's that one. Okay, so here's what we've got so far. So now how we link them together is going to be kind of interesting. We want to use I want to use the rings to link these together too. So I've got these bigger rings, and then I have these smaller ones. I've got this size and a little smaller one even. So I think what I'm going to do, let's see here. So let's look. If we use this big one here, I don't like that, I can tell you that already. So we might use this small one and hook this guy, hook him on like this. But I kind of like for them to go through a bigger ring. So here's what I may do. Let me pull out some gold. Gold rings as well. Let me see here, I want to find some thick ones. Those are rose gold, I don't need rose gold. I have a hard time. I have I've got a lot of really gold and kind of gold and rose gold, but nothing kind of like Casey gold. So these aren't really Casey gold, but I think they look kind of cool with this anyway. So we're going to take this. Do I want to do it that way? I kind of do. I think that would be cool. So the whole challenge this week is put a ring on it. So we're going to use lots of rings. That's going to be fun. And I'm going to hook this one on here on our focal. And then right onto this copper ring right here. Oops. Of course, everything's going to fall apart as I'm trying to hang on to it. So let's close this up because we're going to have to, I can open the copper ring and it's a little bit easier to deal with. So I'm just going to put one on either side of this. And these, I believe, are 6mm jump rings. These guys are 12mm, which would probably make this guy about a 10. So just different size jump rings. That's what I'm doing. So there we have that. Now, I think maybe I might hook those onto this one. So this is the 10mm. And you guys, I mean, you can do this however you want. You don't have to have these rings to do this. You can use anything you've got. This is just an idea. I'm just showing you how you can take some jump rings in bead frames and make some interesting looking pieces, but you know, it's totally up to you how you want to put it together. I think it's cool. I like to mess around with different metals together, rings, just, I don't know. I think it's fun. I just like to play around with a bunch of it. All right, let's go here with this one. So there's what we've got. Now we're going to hook this one on. And I'm just going to hook it on with the regular gold. Little ring here. Just like this. Alrighty. It's pretty cool. So then I am going to take another, let's see, do I want to use, I think I kind of want to use this bigger one over here. And the gold, I'm going to use the gold again, and I'm going to hook it to this bigger jump ring. So this one, onto the 12 millimeter. And this one onto the 12 millimeter. And the little link, bead link. Oops. Okay. Now we've got these two that need to go on. And let's see, do I want to put them on with this one? I kind of like this because these are matte and these are shiny jump rings. It kind of makes it cool looking. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to hook and then we'll go with the gold again. That's kind of cute. Alright, so I'm going to take this guy, put the gold one on here. Fiddly fiddly. Okay, put the gold one on there. Put him on here. Close it up. And then I'm going to put this gold one, I'm going to hook it to either little bead frame here. Right here. So you can really create a cool, you know, a textured look, a multi-metals look, just a lot of interest with rings. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just fun. Okay. And we all know that when you open a jump ring, you go side to side, right? Like this. Okay? You do not pull it open the other way, and I'll show you here with this 12 millimeter one. So we want to go back side to side. Like this. Front to back, actually, is what it is. But this is what you do not want to do. You don't want to take your jump ring. So you got your jump ring here. You do not want to do this. Okay, come on, camera, focus in. See if I get that off there, if it'll focus better. Okay? You don't want to try, because then when you try to bend it back like this, it's not going to go back the right way. So this is not the way we open a jump ring. Okay, let me see if I can do it better this way. Yeah. We do not pull it open like that. That's very, very bad. It weakens the metal. The way we open jump rings is like this. We take it and we go front to back. Whoops. You do hang on to the thing. I wish my camera would, what its problem is. It's a one task woman. Okay, come on now. Usually I can go like this and it focuses in, but okay, let me see if that'll help. Nope, not really. Okay, so you go front to back like this when you open a jump ring. And when you close it, you can feel the metal rub against itself, so you know it's closed good. But this is not, you do not want to do this. So, focus in. Yeah, you don't want to do it like that, because that's going to weaken this, and it'll break, and it also doesn't go back well. Not good enough. You've got to go front to back, or, yeah, front to back. You could say it front to back, you could say it side to side, however you want to, but you definitely want to do the twisty front to back movement, see? And now I've put this one back together, but it's weakened here, so it could break. So we don't want to use him. We'll put him in the scrap pile. So that's how you open jump ring, okay? All right, so here's what we've got. Lots of rings, lots of pretty metal. Now I've got these pieces. These are just some chain pieces that I had left over from another project. And let's see what we want to do with it. Let me separate these guys up here. Okay, so I like this. First of all, you kind of have to decide how long you want your necklace to be. This is not the kind of necklace I would wear long. I would wear this, you know, like right around my collarbone. I wouldn't really wear this like very long. So I think I'm going to hook it together. Let's go with the 6mm. Or this is 8mm, it looks like. Let's go with this little 8mm. Okay. Maybe those are 6. I don't know. I'm not very good at that. Okay. So, and we're just going to hook this chain over here on with this copper jump ring. So we're going to go right on here. And if it'll go through there, that is a teeny little ring. No, it's not going to. So what I'm going to do is cut this ring. And I'm just going to use the, put him back on here. I'm going to use the hole that's already in this piece. Now you can use any chain you have. You can use rings. If you have more rings that you'd rather use, you can use them. I mean, just get creative with it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, closing that back up. And here's what we've got. So now I've got to make this other side match. And I don't have a continuous piece like I did over there. But if I go small, big, and then smaller, bigger, and smaller. So I'll put a smaller one, let's see, and then, so small, big, small, big, small, big, small. I don't know if I'll have enough to do the same thing. Over here I might. So smaller and bigger. We're going to hook that together with our ring. And again, I'll have to cut this piece off because these are teeny tiny little things. Alright, so we got this guy. And I'm just going to hook him to here. Okay, close it up. So I've got my small link, my big link. I need another small and a big. Turn this way. So what they've done over here is they've got these little, and they've taken a small ring in between. Let me see if I have a small one that I can put in between there. This would probably work for that. These are tiny little guys. Let me see, because I'd like for the chain to look the same on both ends. This is kind of a bigger one. I may need to find even something smaller. Let me look here. I think I do have smaller ones. And they have to be fairly thin, too, for this chain. You don't want them too thin, because here we go. These will work. Because you don't want it to fall apart, but I do want it to match. I could take them all off and just do it different, but I think that these will work for this. So, again, just use what you've got. You know, experiment around, see what you got that'll work. See if that'll even go in there. This is tiny. These links are so... How did they even get those in there on the other side? I may have to just replace these. Nope, it's going to do it. Well, that end did anyway. Let's see if this will. These are some tiny, tiny little rings. Come on, you can do it. You win it on the other end. Right, so I just went ahead and hooked all these on to spare you all the angst of watching me do that, because there was a lot and you would have been very frustrated with me. Okay, so I am going to grab my ruler and see what we got here. So right now I have got about a 13-inch necklace, which is not going to be long enough. So, I mean, it would make a good choker, but I don't really want a choker. So I'm going to take my rings here, since we're doing rings. Not that many, but I am going to put about, let's see, so if it's about a 13-inch necklace, I'm going to put about 2 more inches on each side, because like I said, I do want this to be a short, I don't want it to be a long necklace. So I'm going to take, since I'm mixing all these metals, I'm going to take these guys here, and I'm going to hook this to this. Now, see, I'm not good with these rings like this, and it's just frustrating to it's frustrating to be me doing it, but it would have to be even more frustrating to watch me do it. So I'm going to go like this on this side. Then I'm going to take this guy and hook to this guy. Do I want to do that? Ooh, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I'm going to create my own chain here. So I'm going to do this. I like this. And I'm going to do the same thing over here to this. And I'm going to do this on this side and this on this side exactly the same. Okay? And then come on back. Okay, so here we have it. We have created our own chain. And if you're not into this look, this, you know, mixed metals and chains, then you can definitely streamline this. I like it. I think it's really cool. So, but it's definitely boho, and but if you're not into that, you can streamline it. Jesse James Beads makes beautiful chain reaction, which is beaded chain with, you know, pretty wire wrapped links, and that would be one very easy way to go that would, you know, kind of get the same chain link and bead look. Not that we have a lot of beads up in here, but you know what I'm talking about. So now we're putting on our closure, our hook and eye closure. And that, my friends, is a very boho. I always have trouble with these hook and eye closures, getting them, which is good. That means it won't fall off your neck. But there we have put a ring on it. So we have done a very boho, eclectic style, unique. Nobody else is going to have it the same thing you do. So pretty cool. I like it. I love the sparkle and the, you know, like the wood mixed with the sparkle, and just super pretty, super boho. Lots of fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. Check out jessijamesbeads.com for these and other beautiful beading supplies. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.